Shout out to Caressa McKnight for sending me this story, and we got to talk about these damn bootlicks again because they run their mouth and they run amok. So in this picture, of course, you know that is 45 on the left, but if you don't know who the one on the right is, who this video is going to mainly be about, that is Jack Brewer, and he is a former NFL player. And he came out of his mouth and said something that a lot of black people unfortunately said about Bill Clinton back in the 90s. He says that 45, Donald J. Trump, is the quote unquote first black president. I usually don't side with 45 supporters ever at all, but if they were to form up like Voltron and light his ass up in the comment section of his Twitter page where he left this ridiculous ass tweet or wherever he said this at, I would applaud that. Because let me tell you something right quick. Black people were able to get away in the 90s calling Bill Clinton the first black president. They were able to get away with that. I highly doubt that 45 supporters would ever let him get away with this. The furthest they would go is they'll say that Donald Trump has done more for black people than Obama did. I've heard that one so many times, and that's debatable. Well, let me rephrase that. We know Obama really hasn't done anything for black people. Unless, of course, you were in the Alphabet Academy, of course. But then even that is questionable as well, because, you know, it's just as many palm colored people in that academy than there are black ones or anyone else who is non-white. Now, like I said, they'll use the talking point that 45 did more for black people than Obama, but they won't go as far and say that Donald Trump is the first black president. They won't. That's why I hope they light his ass up when if they happen to come across that. The article reads, a former NFL player called 45 the first black president during a Black History Month roundtable in the White House Cabinet Room on Thursday. And I bet you it was a bunch of bootlicks that was cheering and applauding after he said it. The affair largely involved the black leaders in attendance praising the president as Trump touted his record while taking shots at the media. Now, you got to pay attention. Black leaders. Exactly who was there? Because, see, they love to throw that title of black leader onto black people that don't even deserve the title of leader. And then when you see the picture and the imagery of who was there, then it's like, okay, basically no one who will buck the system. More like everyone who will do the buck dancing. Like this guy right here. The player who made the comment was Jack Brewer, a former NFL safety who played college ball at Southern Methodist University before embarking a 5-year journeyman pro career. Brewer is also an ordained minister, a professor at Fordham University, and a vocal pro-Trump booster on social media. I've got to say this because it's Black History Month. Man, you're the first black president, Brewer said as the event was winding down. It says, now I'm gonna read. Now it's a tweet here that he retweeted. I'm gonna read the tweet that he retweeted, and then I'm gonna read what he said in response. It says, just in, Trump victory announced plans for a slate of new black voices for Trump community centers across the country to build on the growing support President at Real Donald Trump has among black Americans. States include Florida, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Wisconsin. He retweeted and responded with, blacks in America have listened to president's campaign on empty promises for over 50 years. Now at Real Donald Trump has delivered real policies that are bringing people out of poverty and freeing our black sons and fathers from mass incarceration. The black awakening is happening. Trump obviously is white and is not the first black president. Former President Barack Obama earned that distinction in history after his 2008 election to office. Brewer, however, was likely calling back to the first black president nickname given to former Bill Clinton after novelist Toni Morrison called him that in The New Yorker in 1998, citing Clinton's upbringing and other characteristics. Also at the roundtable were pro-Trump online personalities Diamond and Silk, aka Polyester, and Cubic Zirconia, Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece Alveda King, and several others. Like, what did I tell you? All bootlicks. All of them. Every last one of them. Silk, just before Brewer's comments, had told the president she sees it as imperative that black voters who only supported Trump at an 8% clip in 2016 vote Trump in 2020. You did ask 4 years ago, what the hell do we have to lose? She said, citing Trump's 2016 campaign pitch to African Americans. But if we don't vote right this time, we're going to have a hell of a whole lot to lose. Now, see, here's the thing. Professor Black Truth just recently did a video where he was talking about how a lot of black voters who usually casually vote, especially I think it was in South Carolina, a lot of them aren't voting for either side, whether it's the Democrat side or the Republican side. Remember, those two wings attached to that same demonic blood-sucking bat. Silk continued repeating a line she and Diamond use in their videos. Make sure you vote right so you won't get left. Boo. Trump's campaigns has aggressively courted black voters in recent weeks, especially in diverse cities and swing states. This week it announced the campaign was opening community centers to court black voters in 15 different cities. The Trump re-election campaign appears to be hoping that increasing its black support from 8% to even the low teens could potentially put the president over the top in November, and is leaning on the economy and the criminal justice reform bill Trump signed to make the case. This effort comes, however, as Democrats are calling Trump a bigot on the campaign trail, citing accusations of racism that have dogged his 2016 campaign and his presidency, including when Trump drew bipartisan criticism for struggling to clearly and swiftly condemn white supremacists in following deadly protests in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017. Yeah, but like I said, this calling 45 the first black president nah. But like I said, you look at the lineup of people that I just read, and that was just 3 or was it 4 names, including him. You don't have to read any more after that. You know what type of crowd that is attracting. Like I said, November is going to be very interesting. November 4th. I can't wait to see what the turnout is going to be. I'm so curious at this point what's going to happen. We shall see. I can't wait to see how all of this turns out. But as for this Jack Brewer character, who I can honestly say I've never heard of, he must have played way back in the day, for me to even give a damn. That whole saying he's the first black president, that I guess was supposed to be a response when black people was calling Bill Clinton that. A lot of black people, quiet as it's kept, didn't even like when people called Bill Clinton the first black president. So how do you think they're going to receive it when you're calling 45 the first black president? And then they keep saying all the stuff that, that he has done for black people. You got to wonder, is he doing it because he wants to do it, or is he doing it for votes? And see, the thing is, if you brought that up to them, they would probably get stuck because they know it's for votes. But we shall see what happens. But this Jack Brewer guy, he's an idiot. Anyone who says something like that is a dumbass, because 45 for one is not black, and he's not even black minded, quote unquote. When you look at a lot of the policies, what true black person would do half the stuff or an ounce of the stuff that he did? Well, maybe 44, if you really look to it. But then again, I don't know if he ever considered himself to be black. He just had the black skin. But I'm not going to dive too deep into that. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Have your notifications turned on, and I will talk to you in the next one.